On a previous episode, we talked about sort of a glossary of terms for dating, what people might encounter out there in the wild as they're re-entering the dating world for the first time after a long time. We weren't able to get through the entire list, so here we are again.
Here we are again.
Episode 2 of our glossary of dating terms. The last time we left off with cuffing season, so this time I'm going to hit you up with one that's probably pretty obvious, but maybe not for some people. Situationship.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
What's a
see, this is
situationship?
another one I'm an expert in as well.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was really encountering. And I'm a very decisive, not wishy-washy person. And I understand that some things take time to develop into a full-fledged thing, but I am not a fan. I was getting very, very sick of the situationships when I was dating before I met my boyfriend. So,
Well, what is a situationship?
well, situationship is when you're doing relationship type things with someone for could be months. Some people end up in situationships for years, but you haven't defined the relationship. You haven't even said that you're boyfriend, girlfriend. And I had a situationship for the entire summer that I was single after my breakup with my boyfriend. That was after my divorce. I know it's so complicated. And
on the website, we'll put a chart with red lines pointing to, we don't have a website, just to be clear. I almost gaslit our audience by making them think we have a website they could go to.
So anywho, the situationship it happened when I was starting to follow a lot of dating coaches and YouTubers and things, because I was kind of like this. I was new to the whole thing, and I'm like, what is going on out there? This was my first time dating. He was one of the first people that I actually matched with on Bumble. We dated. He took me away to his family house for vacation.
He got family involved. See, I figured with the situation.
No. I never met his family. They weren't there. It was like one of those shore houses where the family shared it, at the shore. But once we passed the month mark, I was starting to see things. And the old me, when I used to date in high school and college, it was by a month you would know. You would know if you were boyfriend, girlfriend. That was the olden days, okay? That's not the case right now.
Yeah.
I was watching all of these dating experts and coaches saying, hey, pump the brakes a month. At that point, maybe you've seen each other 4 or 5 times if you're doing a date a week, something along those lines. You don't know this person, right? You really don't know this person. Why are you going to say, oh, I'm committing to be in a full-fledged relationship with this person after 1 month? That is not a lot of time. If you add up all the hours you've spent together, it's not that many hours, right?
Sure.
And you haven't seen them in different situations and areas and things like that. Yeah. So another month goes by, and we're still steadily seeing each other, going on dates. And he had met a couple of my friends. But the other thing was, he was still going through his divorce when we met. It had been going on for a while. His wife had cheated on him, left him for their friend. So he had a lot going on. He finalized his divorce right before we went away. And he was the nicest guy. And I think he was really trying to get over what happened to him. And it was a very traumatic situation because they had 2 little kids and it was a mess. And then 3 months go by, so it's from June to September. I took him to a wedding and he was great at the wedding. I'm sure his family and friends were asking hey, you took someone to a wedding. That's kind of a big deal. And he met all the people at the wedding and all that. And it was great. And then he actually kind of ghosted me for a little bit. And then he actually called me. And it was sad because he was very honest. And he just said, you're a great person. I've enjoyed our time together. But kind of like in the last episode, your Southern accent guy. But I realized I can't do this. I'm not ready for this. And I was really hurt. But again, we never said we were boyfriend, girlfriend or anything. I think the mistake I made was I put all my eggs in one basket and I really didn't date anybody else.
You should have had someone benched. or cushioned or
Yeah, it
whatever
should
it
have been
was.
cushioning. I know. But the thing is, like, when you really like someone, you really like someone. And I just wasn't really that interested in other people, honestly. So it was really sad. So that was definitely a situationship. And it got to the point where, my friends were asking me, like, oh, really? You haven't said boyfriend, girlfriend yet? And after like 2 months of regularly seeing each other, it just seemed odd to people that you're not going to say anything. And in all fairness, I never brought it up. I didn't want to be that person who's like, oh, let's define it. Because I thought, we're older. We're in. Actually, no, he was 8 years younger than me, too. So that was the youngest I've ever gone.
I definitely think you can have a situationship that, again, is not a cynical one, where you're just taking things real slow and you're not aggressively pursuing a long-term relationship. You're just kind of like, it works for now. So here again, I think the general perception is that a situationship is like, oh, he's not committing. And I'm not saying this is necessarily what happened in your situation, but it's just like the person might not be ready for something, and maybe you aren't either. Maybe you're just okay with slow rolling it and seeing where it goes. But I do think there's some people who only view it in a negative connotation, that they just are ready for cuffing season. They want to lock that person down.
Yeah.
But the other person is sort of just like keeping them at a certain level and isn't ready to commit. But I don't know. I don't think that it's necessarily a negative term. I think it's just sometimes people aren't ready for the full Monty.
Well, here's my issue.
Oh boy. Let me take a stiff drink of water here.
My issue is that these situationships happened when I very clearly on my dating profile said I wanted a relationship, and I only matched with people who also said they wanted a relationship. Now, I understand. That doesn't necessarily mean they want a relationship with you, right? Just because someone says, I want a relationship, doesn't mean...
But Daddy, I want a relationship now.
Well, I always say I'm like Veruca Salt. I always say, because I want it now, Daddy. Yeah, that's totally me. But the thing is, I feel like there are a lot of guys out there who say that they are ready for a relationship, they want one, but they're not really, and they know it. But they also know that they're going to get more girls to like them if they say they want a relationship rather than I want to be casual, because that's not as appealing.
Yeah. That is
just be honest, like you said before. This is a little bit of a tangent, but I see it talked about in those groups, those Facebook groups. Are we dating the same guy and everything? Is they say, why would guys say, because guys have this, as far as like what they want for a relationship, they say long-term relationship, but open to short-term. And they're like, well, why would you want to be with someone who even entertains the idea of short-term? What does that even mean?
It means that if you're willing to travel to California, you're willing to take some detours along the way. When you see a sign for world's biggest rubber band ball, you're like, well, sure, I'll take a look at that. Let me see what that is. I'm still going to California. That's my ultimate destination. And it's like 40 miles out of my way, but I don't really have much else to go on because I'm driving through Idaho and there's nothing to look at. I need a break. So it's like the ultimate goal is still to find the long-term relationship. But if you have a detour here and there where you hook up with somebody here and there, or you just go on a few dates and it's nothing serious, I don't see what the problem is with that.
Yeah, but I also think that is more of a guy thing than a girl thing.
No, probably.
Yeah. I don't hear many girls being like, I want to be in a relationship.
I do see it on profiles a lot. I see women will say long-term open to short.
Really? Yeah. Okay. See, I don't know because I'm not looking at the girls.
Yeah, stick with me, kid. I'll tell you all about the girls. Maybe I shouldn't say I see it a lot. I see it regularly on the dating profiles, but
I don't want to like waste time.
I also wonder how much of that is age-based and how much of that is true. How much of that is a girl trying to be like, no, I'm cool. I could be open to short. But then if you actually did try to do a short-term relationship with them, they'd be like, oh, I'm going to murder you because I opened up my heart to you.
Yeah, well, I think you're onto something there because, I'm sure you've seen Gone Girl, one of my favorite books and movies. And she does that whole monologue about being the cool girl, the girl who just, she can drink beer and she doesn't care and she's always wanting to have sex and she's... Yeah. And we as women have been taught that that's how you win at the whole dating thing, is that you pretend to be the cool girl. Like, I'm cool with that. I'm not a bother.
You're dating your coworker? No big deal. Yeah. I'll get over it.
I'm going to be so low maintenance and I'm going to do all these great things for you and I'm going to dress up for you. But guess what? When you look at the laws of attraction, men, from what the research says, right? Men are allegedly, that makes you less attractive because it doesn't give them anything to work for or do, you know?
I don't know about all that, but I feel like men can probably sniff that out as being false, and
Maybe.
they want someone who's going to be genuine with them.
Right.
But I don't know that they're going to be like, I don't know. Anytime you say laws of attraction, my brain just immediately turns off.
Well, I will say, I do believe that there are a lot of girls who go into situations saying, it's cool, because the guy is upfront, right? He's saying, I'm not looking to be in a relationship. I'm not looking for anything serious. I like hanging out with you and we can still do that. So many women in that situation, they'd say, oh yeah, I'm cool with that. But they'd think, oh, I'll get him to come around. I'll win him over. Because again, look at what we're exposed to, getting back to movies and the whole Disney thing and the, okay, Beauty and the Beast. You can tame this guy. You can, that was a whole like weird furry situation for a while, but that's a whole other episode.
Right. I can turn him back from his magical spell. Not a big deal. I can fix him.
Getting back to like situationship, right? One of the best examples of that is one of my favorite movies of all time, 500 Days of Summer, but it's like a role reversal, right? Because she's the one that says, I'm not looking for anything serious. I don't believe in love. I don't believe in long-term relationships. I don't believe in marriage. She even says, are you okay with that? And he says, yeah.
Because he wants to be the cool girl.
He wants to be the cool girl, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. But then he gets increasingly frustrated with her lack of definition and her lack of commitment. I don't want to give anything away. If anyone's never, that's one of the...
That's definitely one we should add to the list.
We need to do that one because...
It's a great movie.
It has my favorite scene of all time in it.
Oh, when he plays back all the scenes where he thought she was great, but she's actually sucky.
No. The expectation versus reality scene is, I think, it's one of my favorite scenes. I mean, it's my favorite scene of all time in a movie.
I don't remember that scene. Okay.
Oh, well, we need to watch it again.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that can be like one of our movie nights. But she's this non-committal chick, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he's all about her. He's pretty obsessed with her and he wants to lock it down, and kind of the more he does that, the more he pushes her away, really. So I think situationships are difficult.
All right, so I think we covered that one pretty squarely. Mm-hmm. The next one is simp. Now, I would like to hear your definition of it, and I'm going to tell you what the definition actually is.
Okay, so to me, because I'm in the YouTube world, I've slacked on my YouTube channel, but simps are the guys, to me, the guys that are almost like fanboying or whatever you want to call it. And they're just saying yes to everything and they're complimenting you all the time. And they're simping out on you. They're just like into you, and regardless of what you do. I mean, you don't even have to be that great, but they're telling you how great you are. They're like your biggest fans.
I looked this term up a long time ago because I kept hearing my like nephews and stuff say it, and I just had no idea what they were saying. They'd be like, "Oh, you're simping for her. You're simping hard." Mm-hmm. I was like, "Okay, what does this mean?" So a simp, in the original definition, is a vagina.
What?
That is shaped like Homer Simpson's mouth.
No.
Yeah, look it up. Look it up. Be it. Look it up. That's what it is. We're gonna pause right now.
So in real time, I am going to look up the definition of a simp.
But then over time it became, you're a simp, meaning you're a pussy because you are like standing for this girl.
Okay, it says a simp is a derogatory slang term for someone, typically a man, who is seen as being overly attentive, subservient, or desperate for the affection of another person, often a woman, to an excessive degree. This can involve showering them with gifts, excessive compliments, or constant attention, especially when the affection is unreciprocated. The term can be used in a negative way to suggest a lack of self-respect or as a playful term among friends.
Did you look it up on Urban Dictionary?
Okay, wait. The term's origin. Oh, the word is a shortening of simpleton, meaning a simple or foolish person.
No, false.
Okay, I mean...
Somebody's trying to retcon that.
I don't know. It's a simpleton and weak men, and I had never heard. Okay, you find it then.
I'm going
because... to. I don't know. Regardless of where it came from, this is what a simp is now. Oh, this Urban Dictionary says a man who puts the hose before the bros. Ben is a major simp for ditching us for those hoes. I had never heard that other thing Like, and I feel like I'm pretty savvy. Has anyone heard this?
I'm going to read this for you. This is from
it.
urbandictionary.com. Simp, when a girl's vagina looks like Homer Simpson's mouth. That girl was so hot, but she had wicked camel toe. Her vag was such a simp. This is from 2020.
Okay, you learn something new every day. I had no idea. We're going to get flagged, right? Because we said...
I mean, we're already like an explicit content podcast.
No, it's. I love being edgy.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that edgy necessarily, but maybe for us.
Well, let's talk about simping as it means now.
Yeah.
And the whole overly attentive, and you have so many of these, again, because there's all these girls on Instagram and OnlyFans and all of that, and you have these guys simping out. There's this girl, I don't know how I became Facebook friends with her. I guess because we have some mutual friends, and I was like, whatever. And she's not, I was a makeup artist for years. I study people's faces. I'm not even just saying this to be a hater, but she's posts all these pictures that are so filtered. Like, she has the Snapchat, not the dog filter where it's like really fake looking, but to that degree. And you're like, I've seen real pictures of her. She's not that good looking, like face-wise. She's got huge knockers, okay? And she works out, and she's scantily clad, and she posts all these really like thirst trap pictures. And oh my God, I read the comments and I'm just like, what? Look at all these simps. And some of my mutual guy friends who I've really expected more from, they're in the comments too. And I'm like, really? Ew. I might have to rethink this friendship.
When I think of simp, I think, because whatever, like you follow a girl on social media who walks around in a bikini and is clearly trying to get male attention and likes and stuff. Sure, great, good for you. But if you put comments on there, then you're a simp, right? If you're paying money for her OnlyFans, or if you're sending her messages thinking that it's actually her responding and not her social media team who she hires with the money that you're paying, then you are a simp, right?
Yeah.
What do they call that thing? It's a parasocial relationship that you are building up in your mind that is not real, where you are saying like, girl, I'd do anything for you. Like, you want me to move across the country? Like, I'll, blah, 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 blah.
I mean, that's just being like delusional.
It's being delusional, but I mean, yeah, that's how I view a simp. And it's like, I think there's probably a bunch of different contexts for it. So I can imagine a group of guy friends like ragging on a dude because he started dating somebody and now he's not hanging around with everybody and they don't see him as often, whatever. Like, oh, you're simping hard for that girl. But to me, the one that comes to mind the most is like simping for online thots.
Yeah, thots. That's like, people don't say thot anymore. I used to say thot all the time.
So what is a thot?
A thot is that hoe over there.
Is that what that means?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I just thought it meant like the hottie or like the internet hottie.
No, a thot is that hot. Yeah, that hoe over there.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I view that as like the girls on social media who wear skimpy clothing or no clothing in order to get likes and to become an influencer. Adult performers, we'll call them. All right, so we covered simps. I'm glad I got to teach you something today, even though it might not be the real definition, but it's Homer Simpson's vagina.
Well, it's something I hadn't heard, and you did have it right there in black and white, so that's good enough for me.
This one, I do not know what it means. Beige flag.
Okay, so a beige flag, I believe, is something that is neutral. It could go either way. It could be concerning.
So it's a yellow flag.
Yeah, kind of. You need a little more information. It kind of means be mindful of this, investigate this a little further.
See, when I hear this term, what pops into my mind, because obviously like green and red flags are like what would make you want to have a relationship with this person, green flag, or what would make you want to end it, red flag. A beige flag to me feels like something where it sounds like the person's boring. You're just like, ugh, this person's like lame.
Well, no. Okay, so the definition here, I Googled it. A beige flag is a trait or habit in a partner that is unusual or quirky, but not necessarily good or bad, and falls in the middle of the spectrum between a positive green flag and a negative red flag. While some may find these oddities amusing or endearing, for others they could be a hint of future incompatibility or annoyance. So, and it's subjective. What one person sees as a beige flag, another might see as a red flag or even a green flag. For example, one person might find a partner's habit of eating live ants to be a major concern.
What in the world?
Where did that
is not a beige flag. That is a red flag. Get out of there. This person keeps bodies in their basement.
Example. This is so weird.
All right, so skip that. What is your example of a beige flag in real life?
Okay, so going back to my ex-boyfriend of 3.5 years, besides the love bombing.
Let's get out the chart.
He had a habit of getting real excited over something, having to have it, and then changing his mind and getting rid of it and replacing it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I went through that.
And this happened constantly with so many different things. So, for example, his mattress. He was sick of his mattress. Okay, he's going to get a new mattress. He gets the new mattress. The first, week, oh, this is the best mattress I've ever had. I love this mattress. Then, oh, you know what? I don't like this mattress anymore. I'm calling them and getting, it's under a guarantee, so I'm going to have them come and get it. And I'm going to get another mattress. He did it with musical equipment. I love this. Oh no, now I don't like this anymore. I'm going to trade it in for a better one. And then kept doing that. I thought that was strange. And again, not a deal breaker. I wasn't saying, okay, I'm going to break up.
No, it's just an annoyance.
It was an annoyance, and I had a lot of questions.
Yeah. Are you drug dealing and this is your cover?
No, it just was really a strange, I guess you would call it a quirk.
Yeah, my ex actually did that exact same thing. I kept joking with her that her hobby was returning things.
Oh.
Because she loved shopping. She would shop online, she'd shop in real life.
Me too, I love shopping.
A lot of times on weekends when we didn't have anything to do, we would go to the mall and just walk around and she'd buy stuff. And then inevitably, the next time I showed up, she'd be like, yeah, we got to go back to the mall and return this stuff. And I'm like, what if you just kept it or didn't buy it at all? What would it look like if you did that?
I have the opposite problem. I never return anything, even if I should return it, because I'm like, it's almost like you're admitting defeat, which I don't like to do. I don't like to be wrong. I just never return things. When I worked in retail, especially when I was on commission, when I worked in the beauty department, we hated those people because you got the commission and then you
have to get refunded. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say I don't do that often, but I did do that on my 40th birthday. I decided I was going to buy myself a guitar. Mm-hmm. And I went out and spent months, literally months, going to Guitar Center, going to, different shops, trying to find the perfect one. And I finally bought one that I splurged on. It was $1,000 or something, $1,100. And then as soon as I got it home, I was just like, oh, I don't like it that much.
You didn't feel great about it.
Yeah. So I still have it. I'm trying to sell it. But I don't even know where it is, actually. Huh. That's weird.
You do have many musical instruments around here for anyone who's trying to picture what our little studio looks like.
Yeah. I'm now really worried about where I left it. Anyway, it's here somewhere.
There's a bunch of musical instruments around it anyway.
Yeah. All right. So that is a beige flag. It's funny that we both had the same one. Mm-hmm. We talked about red and green flags. Soft and hard launch. This one I know what it is because it happened to me with that same relationship. So a soft and hard launch is when you publicly announce your relationship quietly at first to kind of see if there's any reaction, and then you do the public big final loud announcement, which is we are definitely dating.
Yes, or you change your relationship status.
Right. Do people even use that anymore? Relationship status?
We do. So
that's because you're on Facebook.
I'm on Facebook, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so she was very, very concerned about public perception and social media presence. Mm-hmm. I could not give less of a shit about that if I actively tried. I hate social media. I don't ever want to be on there if I can avoid it.
Yeah, that's where we're different.
Right, but you love it, as you're taking a selfie right now.
I'm not taking a selfie. I just feel like my eye is messed up. Anyway, go ahead.
So a soft launch is we could be posted in an Instagram story, which disappears eventually.
I did soft launch a couple people that way in the story.
But hard launch is when you put them in a post, which is something that people can go back and historically find.
Right.
God, I nailed that one.
Yeah, you
crushed it.
Good job.
But also, I was just like, what? People put this amount of thought into it? Just put us up or don't. Who gives a shit? Anyway, I have no idea what this one is.
Okay, so orbiting is when, again, it's kind of like breadcrumbing, but it's just you're sort of, as far as I know, I don't know if I'm 100%. I think you are keeping tabs on the person, maybe commenting, you're injecting yourself into their life a little bit, but you're on the outskirts.
It says a guy that wants to sleep with his female friend. So he orbits her, hangs out with her in a needy way in the hopes of getting sex someday. If the girl is hot, she usually has many orbiters. So it's the opposite of friend zoning, right? It's hoping to escape the friend zone. I added that last bit. I don't know if that's real, but I think that makes sense.
Wait, no, see, I have a different one here.
Okay, what's yours?
It's more of what I was saying. Orbiting is a dating term for when someone cuts off direct contact with you, but continues to watch, like, and engage with your social media content.
Oh, okay.
This can happen after a breakup or when someone has ghosted you, and it often leaves the other person confused or feeling stuck. It's a way for a person to stay in your online life without committing to a meaningful in-person connection.
I have several of those. People that I dated briefly, we became Instagram friends or whatever, and they're still in my feed, but I have no reason to kick them off, and I have no reason, we don't message or anything, we're not in any contact. It's just like, oh, cool, look at that, they're married now, or whatever. Okay. Woke fishing. Now I have a theory as to what this means. Have you heard of this
fishing?
one? Woke fishing.
Oh gosh, I don't think I've heard this. I'm going to make a guess.
Please.
Okay, woke fishing, I believe, would be if you're on a date, like when you're getting to know someone and you ask questions, like you're not directly asking their political affiliation, but you're asking them sort of like bait questions to see how...
To see what their political stance is?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
That's what I thought it was too. We are both wrong.
We're wrong?
It is a deceptive dating or social trend where an individual pretends to hold progressive views in order to attract potential partners or gain social favor. It's a play on catfishing, which involves creating a fake identity.
Is it like PH fishing or F fishing?
F fishing.
Okay.
In this case, quite literally. But it's a person who does not share liberal ideologies trying to sleep with someone who is liberal by pretending that they are also liberal.
Okay, that's interesting. I would have thought it was what we thought.
Our term, I think, is like a cooler version of it, which is just like slowly dripping out like your political ideology so you don't get smacked down if you don't agree. Interesting one. That's definitely out of left field for me. So again, when I talked with a Gen Z person about these terms, her thing was like her generation has gone way too far with the terminology, but everybody wants to appear to have the new term.
Right.
And so there's all these like micro niches that we're diving into that don't really need a term probably. The ones we talked about in episode 1, I think, come up in regular conversation all the time. Ghosting, breadcrumbing,
right,
love bombing, gaslighting, cuffing season, situationship. But some of these that we're getting into in episode 2 here, beige flag, soft and hard launch, probably not as common, I would guess.
Right.
Woke fishing, I'm guessing, does not happen that much.
I'm not, and I watch a lot of content about love and dating and relationships, and I had not heard that before.
This one is a little older. Bae.
Oh, yeah. Bae.
Do you want to describe what that is?
Well, bae is just like a term of endearment for like the person you're hanging with, I guess. I don't know. Chilling with.
If I remember correctly, I think I remember the origins of this because this was not terribly long ago, but it was a girl who posted a photo of her sleeping as if her boyfriend was taking the picture and said, "Bae caught me sleeping." And I think it was a typo. She meant to type "babe caught me sleeping."
Oh, okay.
But it became such a scandal because in the background you could see a mirror of her holding the camera.
Yes, I remember that. I remember that.
And everybody was like, "Oh my God, you loser." You're trying to pretend like you have a boyfriend.
I actually know someone who does that. She clearly is the one taking the pictures.
Oh, that's sad. Well,
I have to say, look, you know me and my selfies and everything, but I have not once claimed that someone else took a picture of me.
For the audience who doesn't know, Amanda is a prolific selfie taker, and
they call me the selfie queen, like my friend.
The selfie queen. Because it's always the same pose. It's just with different backgrounds. It's from the same angle, same exact pose.
I think you did tell me that. That was one of the things very early on when I met you. You're like, yeah, they all seem to be like the same distance away and the same pose.
You have a very specific stance that you take.
Very specific stance, look.
And setup. But it's just like, this is me in front of the Parthenon. This is me in front of a fountain. This is me in front of a concert.
Oh, you love it. No, but hey, I have not been taking as many selfies. I've had my gentleman in my pictures.
I was gonna say now what do they call them when it's two people?
I don't know.
Oh.
Toofy?
It's something like that.
I don't know, but some people are like, "Oh, see, you're turning him into the same kind of monster that you are." Now he's loving the selfies.
Yeah, that's the thing. I hate pictures of myself. I hate taking selfies. So
I think you're very photogenic, though.
Well, thank you.
There's like one picture of us, like at the time that we were at the Ribby. I love that picture. That picture's so cute.
At the Ribby? What's the Ribby?
At the Bridgeport.
Right. Yeah.
I love that picture.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying
you look very nice in that picture.
Thank you. I really wasn't fishing. I just mean I personally don't like taking selfies. I never do it. I will only do it if my son's in the picture or if a friend is in the picture, right? Like I will never do it just if
Well,
I'm.
I think it's also it's seen as kind of strange when guys take
Yeah,
selfies.
we're not allowed to be like that for some reason.
Yeah.
Catching feelings. This is an easy one,
Yeah,
right?
catching
Like
feelings is just you're starting to like someone.
I think it originated from you are trying to have a casual situation
Right,
and
yes.
one person caught feelings and
That's
so
the
now it's no
context.
longer
Yeah.
casual.
Yeah.
And the other person immediately dumps you because they're like, "Oh, that's not where I'm at." I'm just
Right.
kidding.
Okay, that's
That
good.
one's an
Okay.
easy one. All right. DTR. I have no idea what this means.
DTR? I know what
DTR.
DTF
Yeah,
means,
I
but
bet you do.
DTR. Oh, what?
Hey now.
DTR.
Okay, I looked it up. Do you want to
I've
know?
heard of it.
Most commonly means define the relationship.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes. I know that from different posts from again all these like relationship people that I follow. Yes.
The dreaded conversation of
Going back to my situationship thing. Define the relationship. Like
what are we
what are
exactly?
we? Here's the thing. I'm going to give a little bit of sage advice here.
Oh boy.
Okay. I know it's like this is thrown around and a lot of influencers say this in their videos about dating and whatnot where they say when someone's really meant for you, when they're serious about you, you're not going to be confused. You're not going to have to ask them to define the relationship if it's a reasonable amount of time. I'm not talking like 2 dates and you're like, that's just crazy town, right?
Right. No, 3 weeks and you should know if you want to get married.
Yeah. 3 weeks even
This was
to
a
be...
reference to your previous.
Yes.
story.
Yeah. Oh, right. Right.
Yeah.
Sorry. So...
Keep up with my references, would you?
Yeah, right. I'm sorry. But if it's a reasonable amount of time and you still don't know if you're a couple, that's probably not your person. I will say that my boyfriend defined the relationship clearly. It was a clear conversation that we had.
Yeah, maybe because I'm a guy, I'm just like, there are times when your timing might not be perfectly in sync. And so, like, the woman might say, or whoever, it could go either way. It's not gender specific. The one person could say, "Hey, what are we? We've been dating for 3 weeks now." And the other person could be like, "Well, I don't know. It's pretty early," and is not ready to commit. And I don't necessarily view that as a negative. I think it's just like sometimes the timing isn't quite perfect. And so it might take a little while for that other person to catch up.
Right. Well, they say, one of the sneaky ways to indirectly find that out is if you say you've been dating for a little while and you say, "Oh, we're going to be going to this thing where my friend is. How do you want to be introduced?
Yeah.
What do you want me to like introduce you as?"
This
That
is my simp.
Yeah. Now, if they start sweating and like playing with their collar, there's a good chance that they're never gonna. That's the thing.
Oof.
It's like it's
Oof.
fine.
I don't know if I agree with that. There again, it's like maybe they just need another month. Once they have that month,
They might need more time, but they're not going to be sweating and look like they're in a panic. They would say, "Oh, you can say, we're dating."
Right. Okay.
This is
is
the
my friend.
guy that I'm dating.
Yeah.
And I ran into that because I would have to introduce, when I went to the wedding with the guy, it was like, well, I don't know what to say. And there was a moment too, the photographers coming around taking these professional pictures of the bride and groom with the guests. And there was a moment where he's like, "Do you want me to be in the picture? Like, should I be in the picture?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, why not?" Because I thought in my mind that this was something that would define the relationship, that, okay, we've gone to this wedding and he's met people. No. It was the opposite. So.
The first real relationship I had after I got divorced, I dated her for like a year and a half, I want to say. And we ended up going to her brother's wedding, and her mom had me walk her down the aisle with her brother. And I was in all the pictures, and I just was like, oh boy.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. I still was pretty new out of the marriage and I didn't know what I was doing. And then we broke up pretty soon after that. And I felt so bad. I was like, man, I hope they kind of get divorced so that
right.
those pictures don't stick.
Right.
But I mean, I'm kidding. I didn't really think that. But they're still together. I'm sure somewhere in their pictures, they're like, oh, geez, can we cut that guy out? All right. The ick.
Oh, yeah.
This is an obvious one, right? You get the ick as just somebody does something creepy or weird and you're like, oh, he gave me the ick.
Yeah, or just like a habit or quirk. Again, this could be a quirk that you're like, oh, that gave me the ick.
I have no reason to believe this other than just what I know of women, which is My personal theory is that women watch and listen to too much true crime, and so they're always on the hunt for serial killer flags.
I mean, I don't, but maybe I should. But
You're not like other girls. We've already established that. But there are...
I'm different.
Every woman besides you watches way too much true crime, and so they're always like, oh, I don't know, he cuts his toenails with a knife, he's a serial killer.
That would be...
I don't know, that's a bad example. That is pretty weird. That would give me the ick. But I don't feel like guys ever use this term. I definitely think it's a woman exclusive one.
I've never really heard guys saying, oh, that girl gave me the ick with something that she did, but I hear a lot of girls saying it about guys.
All right, so we're running over time. We got to do a speed round here on the last
speed round.
All right, intentional dating.
Dating for a relationship.
Right, catfishing. This one's pretty obvious, I think.
Oh, yes, when you try, like, you're a fake person, you're using fake pictures, right. And
So let's say you pretend to be a race that you're not, you pretend to be a weight that you're not, you pretend to be a height that you're not.
Right.
By using someone else's pictures or falsifying your profile, and you show up and you're not that. There used to be a show about that was just like terrifying because I couldn't tell if it was real. But there's people who would just stay dragging along for a year and a half, 2 years. Yeah. Never meeting the person, and the person always has an excuse about why they couldn't meet, and I'm just like, no, can't do it. Sneaky link. No idea what that one is.
Oh, I've heard this one.
I'll Google it while you think about it so you can come up with a definition.
Sneaky link. I don't know, but I've definitely heard it before.
It is slang for a secret or discreet romantic or sexual encounter between two people. So, like I guess
linking up.
Hook
but
up.
It's a secret.
All right.
Okay.
And the last one, the easiest one, talking, right? This is definitely a newer one. I don't think when I was in high school, people would be like, yeah, I'm talking to this guy.
No, yeah, and that's the thing. I teach seniors in high school, and they definitely use that a lot.
So it's just like the preliminary stages of dating, right?
Yes, you're entertaining the idea of this person.
We're sending messages and stuff.
You're sending messages, you're chatting a little bit, but again, you're not defining anything. It's early on. You're talking to them. You're just seeing what's what.
Yeah. All right. I think we have covered just a crazy range of terms.
Yeah. We're so educational here.
If anybody ever comes up with other terms that they want us to talk about, I would love to hear them. I'm going to be on the hunt. Now that I know to look out for those terms, I'm going to be looking for other ones.
Absolutely.
But thank you, everybody, for hanging in there with us for part 2.
Yeah, this was fun because we did have a cocktail with this one.
Yeah.
And made it a little more...
We still managed to stay coherent through it for the most part.
Yeah, it loosened us up a little bit, I feel like.
Yeah, so now we're going to drink in every episode to the point where we develop a habit. All right.
But anyway, thanks everyone for stopping by. Please like the episode, share it, all that good stuff. Follow us, subscribe. Yeah, we would love you for doing that.
Have a great week. We'll see you next time.